Bhutan's aquatic biodiversity is not well studied, but we know it's one of the most pristine river systems now in the region. Being in the Himalayas, I think for Bhutan, rivers are very important. It's like the veins in our body, and they really drive a lot of inspiration, not just from a physical aspects, but also culturally, traditionally, and also from a spiritual perspective as well.
This Manas river is biggest and longest river in Bhutan. Golden marshir, scientifically known as putitora, it's widely found in Manas, and it is critical endangered species. Without it, without that golden, it will be very difficult to maintain the ecosystem of the river, because it plays a very pivotal role in food chain as a top predators.
We always consider them as the tiger of the river because of the various reasons. One reason is this, that they have so much of strength compared to other fishes. They can go up to like 40-50 kilos in sizes. Like they can be seen on 3-4 feet long. Just imagine like having 4 feet a wild fish running in the river, and when you see them in the water, it's amazing.
Golden marshir has a very, it has a very important cultural significance. It is one of 8 lucky signs in Buddhism, which is the golden fishes, which is associated with really this freedom, freedom in water. There's a lot of like cultural and spiritual association, but other than that, I think people really didn't seem to know much about the freshwater biodiversity and their role and the important ecosystem services that they provide.
Before going for fishing, what we usually do is look for a base spot for construction of reservoir stations. We select a very good fishing spot. We go there, we fish. If we catch a fish and we have a standard size, then only we anesthetize the fish. We implant the tag and let it recover for a while. Once the fish is fully recovered, then only we release them.
In the marshy range countries, now Bhutan is the last remaining country, where you can find pristine wild genetic stock of golden marshir. The good thing in Bhutan is that we recognize the importance of renewable clean energy. We recognize the importance of freshwater conservation. The authorities and the government people are willing to sit across the table and listen. That's why this radiotelemetry study was very important, because we used to have dialogues among our environmental colleagues, because if you want to go and have a serious discussion with the guys from the industry, we also need to have the data to tell them. We cannot just say, oh, this is important for golden marshir, because the next thing they're going to ask you is that, do you have the migrations data? So now we have the migration data, we have the spawning data. Now we can clearly demarcate those areas and say these areas needs to be protected. And that's why I think this 5 years of study was very important,